Hier ist die neue Folge der Ökonomie-Videos.
All right, welcome to The Explainer. So, we're always hearing about crypto, right? But how does it actually go from being this abstract idea, this headline, into your own digital wallet? It might seem super complicated, but it's really not. Today, we're going to break down the exact ways you can get cryptocurrency. Let's dive in. You've heard of Bitcoin, you've probably heard of Ether, and a million other coins. But how do you go from just hearing about them to actually owning them? What are the real steps? Well, that is the big question we are answering today, and we're going to make it simple. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to start at the source. How is crypto even created in the first place? Then we'll get into the common, everyday methods most people use to buy it. After that, we'll take a trip to the wild frontier of investing in brand new coins. And finally, we'll wrap it all up to figure out what your path might look like. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. We're going to talk about the creators. These are the ways that new crypto coins are literally brought into existence by people who help run and secure the whole network.
This is the original, the OG method, and it's what makes Bitcoin tick. It's called proof of work, but you probably know it as mining. Basically, these super powerful computers are in a race to solve incredibly complex math puzzles. And when they solve one, they get to validate a batch of transactions and add it as a new block to the chain. For doing that work, they earn a reward in crypto. Now, back in the day, you might have been able to do this on a home computer, but today, it's a whole different ballgame. We're talking massive, professional operations, these huge, dedicated computer farms. So, as you can imagine, proof of work uses a ton of energy. And that's a big reason why a new system popped up, proof of stake. This is what a lot of the big newer cryptocurrencies use, like Ether, Cardano, and Solana. Instead of using computing power, here, users lock up their own crypto. They stake it to get a chance to be chosen to validate transactions and earn rewards. It's kind of like putting your money where your mouth is to prove you're a trustworthy player in the system. Okay, so if you remember one thing from this section, make it this. This is the crucial difference. Proof of work is all about who has the most computing power, who's got the fastest, most powerful machines. But proof of stake is about who has the most capital, who has the most skin in the game. Two totally different approaches to securing a network. Okay, so let's be real. Most of us are not going to be out there mining or staking crypto, right? So how does the average person actually get their hands on it? Well, that brings us to the marketplaces. This is the superhighway, the main on-ramp for most people to acquire crypto. So, check out this number, 540. What do you think that is? Well, in early 2023, that was roughly how many cryptocurrency exchanges were operating around the world. It just goes to show you the massive scale of this marketplace that's out there.
And getting started on one of these is actually pretty simple. You register an account, and then you'll go through a process called KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. It's basically just a security check, a standard thing now, where you show your ID or passport to prove you are who you say you are. Once that's done, you just link your bank account or card, fund it with regular money, and boom, you can buy cryptocurrency.
Yeah, you've probably seen these logos around. Exchanges like Binance and Coinbase, they're some of the global giants. But here's the deal, and this is super important to understand. When you use an exchange, they make buying incredibly easy, but they're the ones holding your crypto for you. And that's where that famous saying in crypto comes from, not your keys, not your coins.
And that brings us perfectly to the other really common method, the one where you are in full control, a direct wallet-to-wallet transfer. This is exactly what it sounds like. If your friend has crypto, they can send it directly from their digital wallet to your digital wallet. There's no middleman, no company in between. It's just a pure, peer-to-peer transaction.
So, how fast are we talking? I mean, really? Well, on some of these modern blockchains, sending crypto from here to literally the other side of the planet can take just 10 seconds. That's it.
Okay, so it's crazy fast. But what does it cost to do that? Around 10 cents. But listen to this, because this is the mind-blowing part. That fee, it's the same whether you're sending $5 or $5 million. The cost has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of money you're sending. All right, time to shift gears. We are now heading to our final category.
I want you to think of this as the wild frontier of crypto, okay? It's kind of like the venture capital of this world. And just like venture capital, the potential rewards can be massive, but you guessed it, so are the risks. This is all about getting in on the ground floor of brand new projects.
The way you do this is through something called an initial coin offering, or an ICO. And if you've ever heard of an IPO, an initial public offering in the stock market, well, an ICO is pretty much the crypto version of that. You're buying brand new tokens directly from a project's creators, hoping that one day they'll be worth a lot more. You're betting on their vision.
So the whole process usually kicks off with what's called a white paper. Now, this document is the most important thing you need to read. It lays out the whole plan, the big idea, the team behind it, their roadmap for the future. Then you might see a more technical yellow paper, followed by a huge marketing push, and then finally the token sale, where people can actually invest.
Phew. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, right? We've gone from the very creation of crypto to how most of us buy it, all the way to investing in these brand new projects. So let's tie it all together with the key takeaways. When you really break it all down, there are basically just three main paths to get cryptocurrency. You can earn it by actually becoming part of the machinery that runs the network. You can buy it using an exchange or a direct transfer, which is how almost everybody gets started. Or you can invest early by taking a shot on brand new projects out on the frontier.
So that leaves us with one final thought. A question just for you. Based on everything we've talked about, creator, trader, or pioneer, which one of those roles sounds most like you? It's something interesting to think about. Thanks so much for joining us on The Explainer.